In the Business Spotlight on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY, it is another Friday, and that means another Local First Business, our Local First Friday. And this time, our business is a charity that you've heard of for several years here in Springfield, Contact Ministries. Cindy Drum is with us from Contact Ministries. Cindy, welcome. First of all, tell everybody who might not be familiar about Contact Ministries.
Well, Contact Ministries is a local charity. Our vision is to meet basic needs while impacting lives for Christ. We daily serve the Springfield community by providing emergency and transitional shelter with life skills training, as well as food vouchers, clothing, and financial assistance and referrals through Christ's love and compassion. Contact Ministries was founded by local churches over 39 years ago.
Now, how do you get your funding? Is it just straight from the public, or do churches help you out? How do you get it?
Well, 94% of our funding is just from local businesses, local churches, and just people in the community that have supported us just throughout the years. We only receive 6% of state or federal funds.
Wow, that's amazing. And you guys do an amazing job with the homeless too, as far as your shelters go.
Well, our main focus is our women and children's shelters. We have 2 shelters at Contact Ministries. We're at 1100 East Adams. Everything that we do is at that one location. I'm often asked that question, how many locations do you have? Just the one. We are a local ministry started by local churches, supported by local businesses and people. Our goal is to serve our community. And in that, we have an emergency shelter for single women and women with children of all ages. What that means is we can take single women, and we can also take mothers with boys up to the age of 17. There's no other shelter in the Sangamon County and surrounding areas that offer that service to women and children. We also have a second shelter, which is a long-term 6-month shelter, and that is a life-changing shelter, as we like to say. In that shelter, they can live with us up to 6 months. During that time, Monday through Friday, 9 to 1 every day, Monday through Friday, we have life skill classes, such as how to get a job, how to keep a job, financial classes, parenting classes, nutritional classes, things like that. And so that is our focus every day with the people that live with us, is just getting them from homelessness to stability.
Wow, yeah, and that is something that I think a lot of people, it does get a little aggravating for them, the fact that somebody could go through the school system and not have those kind of life skills, and or maybe have dropped out or never was really at school and needs those life services. This is kind of one of those things where you give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day, you teach them to fish, you feed them for life. I'm sure that's kind of what all of this is behind, isn't it?
Absolutely. I always say our life skill classes are things my mother taught me, things that everyday life skills that some of our ladies somewhere along the way have missed for whatever reason. There's numerous reasons for them to not have these skills, but we just meet them wherever they are. And each person who comes to us meets with one of our case managers and is evaluated, and we meet what are their needs and what is their goal and how do we get them there. We have people who come to us with not even a high school diploma, sometimes not even an 8th grade graduation, and we have people who come to us who have 4-year degrees and master's degrees. So it's all types of situations and people who come to us, and so we're helping them identify what got them there, and then our next step is how can we move you to the next step and for you not to return to us in that way. We want to see you at the local store and for you to tell us how great you're doing and not for them to return. So we really work hard and are very proud of our success rate that we have with our long-term clients.
Cindy Drum is with us from Contact Ministries on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY. Now, Cindy, you mentioned about women and children's shelter. What is the typical, is it a situation where they're escaping from a battering spouse, or is it a situation where they were on their own after a divorce and the dad has turned out to maybe not pay support or not there for the kids? What kind of women and children come to Contact Ministries?
Well, I'm often asked that question, and so it's not an easy question to answer because it's just not one type of person. We have people from all walks of life. We have people who have a very minimal education, and we have people who, as I said, have 4-year degrees and master's degree. We work with people that are very young, that maybe just had a baby, and for whatever the reason, their family's not going to support them. We work directly with the hospitals and the police department. They bring people directly to us through domestic violence and situations. There's all types of reasons that people come to us. That's why we feel that we just need to meet them wherever they are. And that's why it's so important that we give them one-on-one attention, finding out and identifying what their situation is and how we can improve that. But a lot of, we do deal with as far as our single women, we have a lot of mental health issues. And with a lot of our women with children, there's a lot of lack of education. So even though they have a job, they can't make enough money on their own to support their children. And as you said, maybe they're not getting child support for whatever reason. They don't have the father figure in their life to help support them. Or maybe they just don't have family and resources in this area to help support them. And so we're always working on trying to get them local support through churches and things like that. And if they're from another area, our goal is to get them back where they're originally from, so they can have that support and family that they need from where they are originally from, another area, perhaps.
Cindy Drum is with us from Contact Ministries on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY. Cindy, the volunteers that make Contact Ministries go, how do you become a volunteer and what kind of training goes into that?
Well, we have a very limited staff. So if we did not have our great volunteers, we literally could not open up every day. And so we have on our website, contactministries.com, and through our Facebook or Instagram, you can contact us. We love volunteers. There's tons of areas to volunteer. We have our front desk, which is our walk-in clients. We're open during the week, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1, for anyone in the community to walk in and access our services, whether that be food, clothing, rent, utilities, when that is available, when funding like that is available, which is very limited in Springfield. We have prescription assistance. And if we do not have the resource that they need, we know in town who does. We also know if that resource is not available in town, which is also very important, to not waste somebody's time and energy looking for something that's not really available in our town. And so we do that every day. We need volunteers to man our front desk and just be a friendly face as people walk in. We also have what we call our basement boutique. It is a free store open to the public 2 days a week. Men is on Tuesdays shopping, and shopping for women and children is on Wednesdays. It's all ran by volunteers. Everything in our store is 100% free to the public, but we do run it as a store because we also use it as job training for our ladies who live in our shelters. And so it has twofold, serving the public with just free clothing, shoes, household items, but also job training. And it also allows our volunteers to really get to know and work with our ladies one-on-one, and they really love that because it's so rewarding to help somebody along their path and improving their life. And we find that our volunteers just love working hand in hand with our ladies. Also, while our ladies are in their daily classes or volunteering down in the basement boutique, we have the need for our children to be watched. If they're a school-aged child, of course they're in school. We make sure of that. That is one of our top priorities when they come into us. But if they're not a school-aged child, we need someone to help volunteer and babysit. So that's a great, if you're a college-age student or just a retired person who loves children, we always have that opening also. And then a fourth area that people can volunteer is we always need meals. As you can imagine, people come and go from our shelters, and so sometimes we don't know how many we'll have on a daily basis, and so we're always in need of people donating pre-made meals. And also the things to make a meal, whether it be pre-made like the frozen lasagnas and things like that, milk, orange juice, just anything that you would need for your house, we need in our house also.
Cindy, many of the nonprofits that I talk to are really struggling as far as raising funds and getting resources. How are you guys doing in comparison with that, especially as we head to this Thanksgiving weekend?
Well, as any nonprofit, we are always in need of donations and funds, and with the state and federal availability of grants is becoming less and less, it is causing not just Contact Ministries, but all nonprofits to do more fundraising. We have 3 main events a year that we do, and what's coming up next is our prom, which is February 16th, is our prom held at the Illini Country Club. That particular event helps support our emergency shelter, so that's very important to us as we go forward in our next fundraising event. But we really rely on local churches and local businesses and just honestly local people who really believe in what we do. And I think once you volunteer or come down and see the people and the children and the faces that we're impacting, you realize what we're doing is important for not just for Springfield, but our entire surrounding communities. And so that, I think, allows people to be more generous with us in that way, because people really want their communities to thrive.
If people want to contribute or volunteer or find out more about Contact Ministries, how can they do it?
Well, of course, we are on Facebook, and then we have contactministries.com. You connect through that way. Obviously, you can call in if you're interested in volunteering, and obviously just walk through our doors and fill out a volunteer application. Anytime anyone wants to access us, we are open 24 hours a day.
And Cindy, finally, why is it so important for Contact Ministries to be a part of Local First?
Well, Local First is just as we are. We are a local ministry as they are local. They support local businesses. And local businesses is what gives to Contact Ministries. You were talking about fundraising. They come to our events. They support us. They give food and clothing and gloves and hats. All these things come from local people and local businesses in our community. And so just as you buy and shop local, they support local and they support Contact Ministries. And we so appreciate Local First and just all the businesses in town that support us.
Well, I know I speak on behalf of Springfield as we appreciate the work that you guys have done for so many years for so many people. Thanks for doing that. Keep doing what you're doing, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Cindy Drum with Contact Ministries, our Local First business this week on News Talk 94.7 and 970 WMAY. And coming up next, Mike Winmacher has a look at the sports.